Hi, welcome to another episode of the Cool Tools Show and Tell. Our special guest this week is Mac. Hey Mac, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, my name's Mac. I am located in a little town called McCall, Idaho. I have a graphic design studio that I run up here. I work primarily in the outdoor industry, so I work with a lot of brands, some of which are associated with the tools I'm going to show today. So I love tools. I love using stuff in the outdoors. We're right next to the Selway Bitterroot, which is the second largest national preserved forest in our country. So at least in the lower 48. So I love to get out there and really important to have the right tools there. So yeah, excited to be here.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have suggested for us. And so with that introduction, tell us about a tool that you are remiss to lose. It's a tool that might be a favorite tool of yours. What would you suggest? Something that we might not know about.
Okay. So this one, I've tried and tested a lot of similar products, and it's probably taken me like 5 years to find the right product for this scenario. And it's a running belt. So if you see here, it's a mesh belt. It's just a perfect loop, so there's no way to disconnect it and wrap it around your waist. Instead, I'm going to show you. You have to put it on
So
by
it's about 3 inches wide. It's
right.
a big loop belt. Maybe there's no unlatching it, so it's a yeah, it's a loop.
That's right. And so you got to step through it,
Okay,
and then you bring it up on your waist.
okay,
And beauty of this thing is that you can put tons of stuff in here. So
okay.
there's these mesh pockets,
All right.
and this is like a soft flask that most runners will use for hydration. And it's a big thing, and it jiggles around.
Right, you're holding something like a thermos size, but a little skinnier, and it's flexible. It's a silicone pouch, or what would you call
Right,
that?
yeah. Call it a soft flask. And
Soft flask. Okay,
500 milliliters of water.
okay.
And you can put that right in the belt. It's got these big long pockets, and it'll stay
Okay.
right there while you run. See
So it's like
that?
what we would call a fanny pack, but it's not doesn't have a belt. It's just one long tubular mesh
Yes.
around. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing about fanny packs is if you have just one big centralized spot for your gear,
Right.
it's going to jiggle around like crazy.
Right. Right. Right.
So the beauty of this is that it's 360 degrees of placement area. So you can put stuff in the back.
Right.
Um, you can put stuff on your waist side. So, it's super, super useful. It's super breathable because it's just this mesh that you can see me through it. It's a great material. It's got a little bit of spandex in it, so it stretches really well.
Right. And it
Um,
seems to be probably geared to runner types rather than hikers.
well,
Instead of wearing something on your back like a day pack, you're going to wear it around your belt
yeah. So
waist.
if you're, there's so many use cases for it. If you're going out into the outdoors and you're not using a backpack that buckles around your waist, I would recommend using this along with just a regular two-strap backpack because if you need to get something out of your backpack, you got to take it off.
Uh,
With this, you can always have something, even if it's something you need really quick, like let's say bear spray,
right.
you could have it right there on your waist and get it out really quick.
Do people
Um,
use it to carry their phones?
yeah, I put my phone in it when I run. So it's the perfect lightweight secondary carrying device, in my opinion.
And what's it called?
So the brand is Ultraspire. It's called the Race Belt 2.0.
Okay.
And I've tried belts from a lot of brands, and the biggest thing is that the other ones I've tried, they just move around too much. They'll ride up on your waist. Your water bottle will jiggle around. This one has solved all those problems for me.
And it's like $32, it looks like. Does And are they different sizes or one size fits all? Or there
Yeah,
three? Okay.
yeah. Um, I believe I've got a medium size and I'm a 32 waist and it works
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, so it's a the Ultra Aspire fitted race belt 2.0.
Yeah.
That's a cool
Ultraspire is
tool.
an awesome brand. They've been around since the 80s, and of any running company I know, they're the ones that are most focused on usability. It's not about looks or style. It's all about functionality. And so they create a lot of really good products from headlights to packs to belts. So
Cool.
they're great.
Great. That's a cool tool. So thanks for that one. So
Yeah.
Mac, what's a second favorite tool of yours?
Okay. Second tool. So everything that I've chosen is running themed, and this one's for the winter months. Um, it's actually a cycling brand. It's called Albion. You see the little logo there.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is an ultra lightweight insulated jacket.
So
Um,
you're putting on this very thin
yes.
quilted, mini, meaning that there's little tiny quilts
Yeah.
on it. But
And the
but it's very,
interesting,
very thin. Is there actually any insulation in it?
so that's the thing. There is, but it's only in the shoulders. So you can see wherever the quilt is where the insulation is. So you've got a bit in the shoulder and a little bit on the front chest. And that's the only place. Otherwise, it's just a nylon, really thin material. So you get the warmth where you need it in your chest and your arms. And then otherwise, it has a little bit of wind resistance, a little bit of waterproofness. But yeah, it's for me, it's perfect because it's the perfect layer to be able to actually, I can pack this so light, I can put it in this belt.
Uh-huh.
And if I get cold on a run, I'll take it out, put it on. If I get too warm, I'll just take it right off and pack it back into the belt. So it's a nice layer that can really. I got to show you how light it can pack down. You can do it to a size that's about a baseball.
Wow.
Um,
Does that quilt, is it insulation on the back or is it just on the chest?
yeah, none on the back. It's just that little nylon one
Wow.
layer on the back. You see how
Wow.
small that is?
It is.
It's
Yeah.
pretty
Probably
amazing.
just weighs a couple ounces, right?
Yeah, I think I wrote down it's 96 grams, so pretty dang light.
Yeah. So it's for the ultra backpackers as well.
It could be. So that's the one thing you need to know before you buy this. It's the cut of how it's designed is very much so for a cyclist. And if you ever look at cycling apparel, it's cut pretty low, or sorry, pretty high on the waist. So you see here, for those who are listening, I'm standing up showing. Let's see here. It
Yeah.
doesn't even
Shows your
cover my
shirts.
shirt that I'm wearing.
Right.
It's above my hips, so
Yes.
it's
It's above
it's a
your
different
waist.
style.
Yeah.
It's not going to cover your hips, so that's to be known. But otherwise, I find like it's a perfect layer.
And this is called what's it? Albion is a brand and it's a ultralight insulated jacket.
Hmm. Yeah.
It looks like it's coming from England.
Yep. Albion's a UK brand. It's a couple of young guys that are running it. They make really good stuff.
And that's about, well, it says 112 pounds, which is, I don't know, $130, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not cheap, but worth it to me for how light it is.
And how do you find it still looks very thin insulation? How do you find the insulating qualities of it? Does it have a rating or
That's a good question. I don't
is it
know.
just
I didn't find a
perception?
rating, but the warmth is quite good. I will say I haven't used it for any static moments in the outdoors. It's always been either running or cycling. So you're generating quite a bit of heat doing those things.
Okay.
But it It has, yeah, I've used it in probably coldest, I'd say 15 degrees,
Mhm.
with just this and maybe like a long sleeve nylon shirt underneath. And it's been more than enough warmth. I've actually
Right.
had to take it off for periods of time to cool down.
Do you know what the insulation actually is? Is it this polyfill of some sort?
Yeah, I saw it's a unique material. It's a recycled material. I can't remember the name of.
They call it Clo Eco Vivo recycled breathable insulation. They don't say what it
Yep.
is, but
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it works pretty good.
okay. Um, so that's again the Albion. It's a super lightweight insulated minimal. It's a minimalist. Uh, Something between a windbreaker and your down vest,
Yeah,
halfway in
exactly.
between, maybe.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, that's the second cool tool. So, Mac, what's the third one that you want us to know about?
Okay. Third one is a shoe, and it's another small brand. It's called Norda. Um, but I think to highlight why I like this shoe, I want to show you a different shoe that I have that has not stood up to the test and show you why, or potentially. So one second. So the trails around here are um, they're full of like baseball sized granite rocks. It's pretty chunky. It's nice and hard on shoes. And this shoe that I've got here, this is a Saucony Endorphin Edge. It's a good lightweight shoe. It's built for trail running. You see, it's got big lugs on it. But after one 20-mile run in these things, look at what's already happened to this
Wow.
thing.
Chewed off. So you're showing the bottom of the sole, which has a big hunk, like a shark bite hunk on it.
Yes. Yeah. A little trail shark took a bite out of this thing. Um, and this is a renowned brand, Saucony, and this shoe is not cheap. This is probably I probably got it for $110 or something like that. And to do one 16-mile run and come home to see this is super disappointing. Um, so to have this shoe, this is a Norda 2.0 shoe, um, that I've probably put probably 200 miles in at this point. It's a little dirty, but it looks just how it did when I bought it. Um, I've I've won a race in these shoes, and it stood the test of time. And the one of the biggest reasons it stood the test of time is because it's built of really great materials. One of them being Dyneema. Have you heard of Dyneema
No,
before?
tell me about Dyneema. What's Dyneema?
So it's a fiber that was invented in the 60s and is claimed to be the strongest fiber in the world. I think at I think if you were to compare Dyneema with steel, the same weight ratio between the
Mm.
two, Dyneema is 15 times stronger than steel,
Mm.
and it's a pliable uh, fabric or thread. So it's got so many use cases. Like it's used as
Mm.
sutures for surgical reasons. It's put into climbing ropes.
Is it like
And
Kevlar? Is it related to Kevlar?
it is, and it's actually used in bulletproof vests, just like
Okay.
Kevlar is.
Okay.
Um, so super awesome material, and this shoe is the upper region of it is made with Dyneema. So I've had multiple pairs of these and never had a rip on the top.
Hmm.
And then they use this foam here below, which I wrote down. It's called EVA foam, which is a really great plush foam that regenerates. So I always know a shoe is ready to retire when I put my hand inside the shoe and I press down right there where the ball of your foot would be. And if I feel like that's compacted so much that there's no more cushion or rebound, it's like I'm not going to wear that shoe anymore because it's just going to hurt my foot slapping it on the ground.
Right.
Um, but this foam rebounds really well. So you take it off, you give it 24 hours, it'll regenerate and make the shoe feel like a great fresh run the next
Wow,
day.
wow.
It's not
And
cheap. It's about a $290 shoe, but it'll
wow.
last you a lot longer than like this Saucony I showed.
Uh-huh. And the top part is like breathable or is it waterproof?
It's not it's not waterproof. And it is quite breathable. It's very thin. You can see my
Right, right,
finger
right.
pushing there. It's just a one layer of Dyneema
Okay.
around the toe box. But yeah, the race that I won these in, I had to cross several streams in them, and took about 30 seconds for the water to drain out of the shoe and to be back to its normal weight after
Mhm.
the stream crossing. So it releases water really well, which I thoroughly enjoy.
Right, right. Okay, so then again, the brand and model of this is a Norda um Cinder.
I think that's the color. This
That's
is
the color.
there's two models. There's a O1 and an O2, and the difference between the two, biggest difference is a lower stack for the number two. So, there's not a ton of foam here on the bottom of the shoe, and their O1 has quite a higher stack, so you get more foam, more cushion.
Mhm,
I'd recommend this for shorter distances and faster paces,
mhm,
just because
mhm.
it's lighter.
Yeah, cool. All right, so the Norda shoe. So, Mac, what's your fourth tool that you'd like to share with us?
Okay, fourth tool. Um, it's an app, and the reason I love this app is, oops, it's already starting. It's I have a lifelong goal of learning French. I've gotten pretty good at it, but you have to keep it up. You have to keep practicing, and there's not any French speakers out here in Idaho. So, um, a way that I practice is with this app called Radio Garden, and I'm showing the screen here. It's the interface of the app shows the globe, a 3D globe of the Earth. There's a lot of little green points around the map. And what's cool is, let's say I want to practice my French. I can come onto this app, find a little green dot in a French speaking region of the earth. Like right now, I'm up in northern Quebec. And if I drag that little green circle around one of the dots, it'll play that radio station that is located there. So, got some French music going on.
Uh-huh.
You know, let's
Okay.
say I want to go see like what somebody's listening to in like the far reaches of Russia. Like I can go there and I can
Wow.
find that, or I can hop over to Alaska, see what's going up in northern Alaska. Like it's a
Wow.
unique way to know the world and to hear different languages. It's pretty
Wow.
cool.
How does that do that? That's amazing.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that without.
I mean, it seems like it has instantly there. It's like somehow it's downloading all recording. Is it live?
It's live, yeah. So somehow it's
Oh.
taking the FM and AM signals and digitally putting
Mhm.
it onto a platform where we can access them. Um, I don't know how they do that, but
Wow.
it's got to be every radio station in the world. Like there's thousands of these little green dots, which is really cool.
Yeah, yeah. That and is the app free?
It's free, yeah. No ads. It's amazing.
Wow. Planet Radio. That is really cool.
It's
So,
Radio Garden.
oh, I'm sorry, Radio Garden.
Yeah.
Radio Garden, free app for your phone that will instantly play a radio station that you find on the map on the globe. That's cool.
Yeah, so I use it when I'm running. I've got my favorite green dots that I'll usually gravitate towards and just, highlight those, get
Uh-huh.
the French stations going and just enjoy some French tunes or some French discussion while I'm running.
Uh-huh. Do you tend to listen to the Quebec version or go into France itself?
Mostly Quebec. Yeah, I spent 2 years there when I was a younger man, and um so I understand their accent pretty well, and I really like that region of the world. So I
Okay,
gravitate to that.
sure. That makes sense. Well, that's really fantastic, Mac. Thank you for all those the running gear and the radio app. That's really cool.
Yeah.
We have a couple minutes to hear if you have a passion project or something you'd like to share with us. This would be the time to do it.
Okay. Yeah. First off, I want to do a shout out to Cool Tools. I've picked up a lot of cool, um, not even just things to buy, but just also things to do. Like one of my favorite pieces of advice that I got from you was to keep a little piece of rope on the side of my desk to practice my knots. Oh, you've got yours right there. It's a great tip, and I do that. And I've got like I was a Boy Scout when I was a kid, but I forgot all those knots until this year when I started doing them again.
Yeah,
So
sure.
awesome. Yeah, I love that. And in terms of projects, so like I said in the beginning, I run my own studio, and I am going out to Montreal in 2 weeks to speak at a conference to speak about my practice and my work. Um, and so I've done quite a bit in the last couple of weeks to just get prepared for that, to, you know, piece together my work in a way
Yeah.
that makes sense and that feels right, and to highlight some of the influences that
Mhm.
inspire me. So that's been a big focus for me in the last couple of weeks, and I'm really excited to go to Montreal. It's a beautiful city.
It is.
Um, but then also because I have my own studio, I've definitely slowed down my work in the last couple of weeks to enjoy the summer and to run a lot. I'm racing a 100-mile race that's up here in Idaho called I'm Tough 100. It's a really brutal mountain race that only has about like a 60% finish rate. So a lot of people
Wow.
just drop out at some point.
Wow.
So I've been training for that and would like to competitively do well at it. So, it takes a lot of hours out of the day,
It does. It
but it's
does.
fun.
That's really great. Well, thank you. Do you have a website?
Yeah, it's macmoss.studio.
Okay. We put a link there into the show notes if someone wants to check out your work. Um, and in either case, thank you, Mac, for volunteering to share with us your favorite tools. We really appreciate it. And it was a real pleasure to hear about what you're interested in your running and a little bit more about Idaho, which I know very little about. So thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thanks so much, Kevin. And can I ask you before you go what
Of
that map
course.
in your background is? I've always wondered that.
Yes. This is a map for those who can't see. There's a kind of really crazy looking multicolored map of the Mississippi River Valley. The current Mississippi is the white course, and all
Mm.
these others are archaic geological, the previous meanders in the river. There's a very famous set of maps like this done by a guy named Fisk, who hand drew these are actually U.S. Army of Engineer maps that I found online and then printed out into one long piece here.
Well,
So, so this is geological history of the Mississippi River Valley.
that's super interesting. Those shapes are really crazy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, really, it looks like modern art.
yeah,
It's actually geology. So thank
yeah,
you for asking. I appreciate that. I hope people who can't see it understand, but you can check it out somewhere. It's the Mississippi River Valley maps.
yeah.
So, Mac,
Catch it on
thank you
YouTube.
again. We
Thanks.
hope you have a good day. We are glad that you are enjoying this issue of the Cool Tools Show and Tell. I just want to remind you that we also have some other coolish material on our YouTube channel here. So please subscribe, comment, and like. This show and tell is also available in an audible podcast form. If you just wanted to listen to us, you can subscribe to the podcast wherever you subscribe to other podcasts. And if you're already just listening to us, you should know that there is a visual version of this show on our YouTube channel where we're actually showing the tools. And there's a little bit more visual component there. In addition, the same folks that publish the Cool Tools website, that's all of us, me, Mark, and Claudia, we also put out a free newsletter every week. It's very, very short, just kind of one page or less. And we recommend 6 very brief items that are very succinct and easy to read. So you can deal with it in a couple minutes. And every week we bring you the 6 coolest things that we've uncovered and want to share. It's called Recommendo with one M. Just go to recommendo.com and you'll be able to find it there. It's free and you'll get it in your mailbox every Sunday morning. So join 80,000 other subscribers to and hear what we're thinking about and what we find cool that week. It's actually one of the most popular things that we produce. We also publish other newsletters as well. One of them is a very short, free weekly, like Recommendo, but for travel. It's called Nomadico, and it gives you 4 short recommendations for people who work while they travel or they travel while working. Another one is called What's in Your Now. It features things that are significant to you right now. Could be things that you carry every day or something very near you. We have another one that's about tools and tips for your workshop, and one that extracts the best stuff out of self-improvement books. You can get all those at our website, and they are also all free. And finally, I want to mention the fact that while our newsletters are free, they're not cheap. They're handmade by humans in California, and if you want to support us, we have paid subscriptions for each newsletter on Substack. So when you sign up for a paid sub, you're making it possible for us to keep creating them free for everyone else. So thank you for being a fan of any type, and we'll keep producing stuff if you let us know that you enjoy it. So thank you.